Upper Basic School.
Fatmanga, can you tell us what really convinced you to answer our questions last week?
Your programs were interesting, motivative, educative.
So you like it?
Yes.
Before we go, or before we give you your present, which we have already pursued right now, tell us what are the 20 elements that you know, the first 20 elements, before we're going to give you. Prove it to us that it is you.
Okay.
What are the first 20 elements?
Hydrogen, helium, lithium,
okay,
beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium or natrium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and calcium.
Wow, let's put our hands together for her. Wow, yes, tell us which grade are you? Which grade are you?
Grade 7.
You're in grade 7,
yes.
And you're able to cram all this. How do you do that? Tell us.
We did it at school.
You did it at school. But tell me, how did you cram it? Because even grade 12 students cannot even memorize the 20 elements of science. When it comes to the 20 elements, they don't even know their names and their symbols. So tell me, how did you just cram this in short times?
Like our school, every test or every exam, our science teacher normally bring it as a test in a tabular form.
Okay.
You will list all the symbols. Is it a metal or non-metal?
Okay.
If you write all now, he will mark that.
Okay. I will definitely love if you can talk a little bit louder. Now, tell me, if you got the presents, how will you feel? Like, how will you explain that to your parents? I know by now your parents might be listening. Now, if you got your presents correct here, you go home with something, how do you think your parents will feel?
They will feel very proud and happy.
Really? So now, let's say if you have a support outside, do you think you need a support outside?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of support do you need from outside people?
Like my schooling.
Your educational career.
Yes.
What do you want to become in the future?
I want to do engineering.
Engineering. Wow, let's put our hands together for her once again. And why do you want to become an engineer in the Gambia?
Okay, I want to ease the transportation facilities in the Gambia.
In the Gambia. You tell me, how old are you again?
12.
12 years old. Fatu, you told me you have a poem for me.
Yes.
So what will be the title of your poem?
Back way, a bad way.
Back way, a bad way. Richard Itano, tell me, how do you see this young girl before I will allow her to read her poem? Tell me, how do you feel a girl from grade 7 and 12 years old girl for that matter answering the 20 elements of science, which we know our grade 12 students cannot even spell oxygens, and they cannot even name the 20 elements of science. Tell me, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's absolutely fantastic, and very many congratulations, and very well done for learning all of those elements. I have to say, I was taken back to when I was a boy at school, and I was absolutely terrible. I would never have been able to memorize all of those, so very well done.
So, Itano, she said she wants to become an engineer in the future. Well, tell me, how do you see her passion? Do you think that she needs a lot of encouragement to move forward with her career?
Well, I think that's absolutely tremendous. I think being an engineer, the term engineer covers an enormous array of things that you can do within that sector, whether it's building bridges, motor vehicles, so on and so forth. So it's a fantastic thing to be doing. I would encourage you to pursue that, definitely, and everybody else as well. It's a great career. And I think it's also one that females certainly have a role in, there's no doubt about that. Very brave of you. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. And yes, how do you feel about her before we go?
Congratulations.
Thank you. And do you wish to be like her, or do you want to be like yourself?
I want to be like her.
You want to be like her?
Yeah.
Definitely, you must study. Study is one of the most important key for you to achieve all your goals. Well, Fatu, what's your name again?
Mariama Manga.
Mariama Manga. Okay, sorry. Mariama Manga, you told us you have a poem and the title is Back Way to...
Back way, a bad way.
Okay, Back Way, a Bad Way. So the floor is all yours.
Okay. Oh, back way, back way, back way. What a horrible way you are. What a disaster you always make. You expose me to slavery. You cause death to me. You make me feel lonely. You make my foe to get rich rapidly. You are an enemy to we the youth. Choosing you is like choosing hell. Why should I go in for you? For food? No. For shelter? No. For wealth? No. For employment? No. There is nothing in this world that can take me through you. I prefer never to go in for you, but unfortunately, we the youths are dying for nothing. Reasons: lack of employment. But nevertheless, I, as a great youth of my country, I will stay in my country and help in developing my nation. Africa is a fertile continent. Africa is a wealthy continent with peace. Africa is rich in nutrients to be grown higher. Oh, back way, go away, get away. I abhor to see your face around me.
Wow, 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 wow. This is really amazing. You know, this is really educative and it really touches my heart when I see young boys and girls going through the back way, you know, all because they want to survive, all because they think that there is a best life in Europe or America. Well, I know someone told me that Europe is a secret. Those who knows the secret will never reveal the secret to you. But there are a lot of things that we can achieve here in our country. Gambia is small but mighty. So I think Gambians should also realize that we have a lot of potentials, we have a lot of mineral resources that we can carry on with our activities and to feed ourselves. The thing is, we need to focus, and parents also should advise their kids. Not only employment will make you to be a better person. We have seen a lot of people that are working harder for their country. They have been employed, but they have never built a mansion for their parents or whatsoever. But I can tell you, with proper attentions, we'll be able to achieve in as much as we can. So, Richard, what is your intake? I know you come from UK, and you'll be able to tell us the secret behind in Europe or America. So, tell me, how do youths live in America or maybe like in London? Because I know there are a lot of youths in Europe or America that doesn't have that doesn't have shelter. They don't have good food, shelter, and then they don't have all the necessities that will make them to be happy. And eventually, most of these youths are even still in Europe and America. So, what is your intake on that?
I think it's a very difficult life for many people. In fact, the majority of people who make the very dangerous journey over to Western Europe, once they arrive there, they find it is really potentially a living hell. So if you think that the grass is greener on the other side, be prepared for a bit of a shock, because for most people it is not. Most people get processed in a very difficult way, such as the nature of it, and you end up in outside of the countryside, outside of your place of birth, outside of your home, and most people find themselves in concrete high-rises in deprived parts of inner cities. So it is not an easy ride at all. I think it would be far better for people to have a look at where they live in the Gambia or any other African country. But let's talk specifically about the Gambia. It really is a paradise.
Okay.
If you manage it well, and all the resources are here. It really is about the management of this country and understanding what your country is. There's many people, many Gambians who have barely travelled around their country. Lots of people haven't travelled 15 miles up the road to the coast, so this type of thing. So it's really important for Gambians to get out, explore their own country, understand what it has to offer, and think about staying here and really making the very best of it. Because if you did it well, and if the economy was looked after and the ecology was nurtured and the nature preserved, you've got one of the most phenomenal places on planet Earth. And I would say the message I would say is really open your minds and look at what you've got, make the best of what you've got, because otherwise there's the possibility you're going to make a very dangerous journey, of which there is a very high casualty rate, and end up somewhere which is a really unhappy place.
Okay, thank you very much. Finally, before I go, what is your intake on her? Do you think that back way was really encouraging to the youths?
No.
Why? Why do you say no?
Because back way is not good.
Why? Why do you think it's not good?
If you are going to America or any countries, please don't go with back way. Sometimes you see that they are sending the videos on others' phone. They are then in the water because they want to survive. They want to go to a bag way and they use a bag way. It's not good. It's very bad for us.
Okay. Finally, what really inspired you to read out this poem? To read out this poem.
I want to encourage the youth in the Gambia to stay in their country, to develop their country rather than going to back way.
So how do you think youths can develop their country when there is no job in their country, when they don't have support from NGOs and other stuff? How do you think youths can stay and then develop their own country for better Gambia?
Like if they study woodwork, they can build their own carpentry stuff. Or when they study metalwork, they can build their own welding.
Welding stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
So if they work there, it's a source of
income. Yeah. Okay. Itano, what advice will you put across to the youths in Gambia? Because in the video, I have seen a lot of youths that have been sold in Libya. Libya, they sold a human being, you understand? So eventually when you look at those videos, a lot of youths are not really happy because at the end of the day, they are seriously maltreated by our own Arabic people. So when you look at it again, they sell these people they sell them, and at the end of the day, they are not making any good incomes. So what is your intake on that?
Okay, well, thank you, VM. Interesting question, and there is this there's this question really that's about how do you develop a country, how do you keep it sustainable. Obviously, one of the biggest topic I think we've been discussing today has been the tree planting topic. One of the things that would need to be looked at, for instance, is what type of trees are indeed planted. Now, what is being grown? So it's not just a question of dedicating large areas or large acreages of land just solely for the growing of trees, but it is what do you grow, what type of trees do you grow. So if you can grow trees that have a fruit, or in many instances, for instance, you've got trees in the Gambia that actually grow natural fertilizers. So if you plant the right trees, then what you can do is create an economy, a sustainable economy out of the things that you're growing. So you can assist the nature, you help the ecology, but you also help the people as well to actually make a living off the growing.
Okay, and now finally I have the girls in the studio called one of the best girls that were able to resist Mariama Manga, and we're gonna give her a present. So you guys are the Home Kids, and she's the president of Home Kids, and now you are here as the crown face of Home Kids too. So like before we go, kindly introduce yourself for the listeners. We can start